everyone. Today I'm back to do a review of Pure by Julianna Baggott. This is an adult post-apocalyptic novel, although readers of YA post-apocalyptic books will also find this enjoyable. There's nothing of an unsuitable nature for readers of that age group. Now, the world building in this was fantastically done. It's a world already devastated by disease and hunger, and a dome has sort of been built, maybe in hopes of some kind of salvation from that, and suddenly these detonations occur. I was a little confused in terms of the storyline as to who set off these bombs and explosions, but regardless of that, it caused catastrophic events and injuries. Those outside of the dome suffered horrible, disfiguring injuries, scars, burns, but the worst of all were the fusings. Now, there are like 4 types. There are people that have been fused to objects. There are people that have been fused to other people. They're called groupies. And there are people fused to beasts, or fused to animals. They're referred to as beasts. And there are those that are fused to parts of the earth, and they're known as the dust. And those were the most amazing creatures within the book. Some of these are from the detonations, and some we learn are from sort of genetic nanotechnology, and you'll find that out as you read the book. But that's life outside of the dome. Very harsh, very depressing. People have all lost hope, and they're suffering from these horrible injuries. Within the dome are the Pures, those untouched, unscarred. They survived the bombings unscathed. Shortly after the detonations, they sort of sent out these papers that say, "We know you are here, our brothers and sisters. We will one day emerge from the dome to join you in peace. For now we watch from afar benevolently." And that gave the people hope that there was some rescue coming from people from the dome, or that they would be allowed in. But years went by, no hope, no salvation from these people. They were just forgotten. And that caused quite a bit of resentment. And a sort of militia developed called the OSR, and they hope to one day attack the dome and enter into their, they believe they have this perfect life within. And once you reach the age of 16, you are required to report to the OSR for training in this militia. Now, our 2 main characters, one is Prussia. She is outside the dome, and she's approaching her 16th birthday. She suffers from a fusing where she has this, one of her childhood dolls was fused to her hand, so it, like, the head covers her hand. And she does not want, of course, join the OSR. She's sort of responsible for her grandfather, he was also disfigured during the bombings. Her parents were both killed. Her grandfather had been raising her, and now as he's becoming older and more decrepit, she's sort of been taking care of him. So through bartering and all sorts of things, she's been able to bring food and supplies to their home. But the OSR will come and hunt you down if you do not report. So she's kind of going into hiding. There's a small little cabinet that they've built within the home to kind of keep her hidden away, and there's a secret code that if the OSR show up, she has to leave. And that's what happens right near the very beginning. They come to the home, and he signals that she has to run. As much as she doesn't want to abandon her grandfather, she has to leave. Our other main character is Partridge. He's a Pure and living within the dome. His father was one of the major people responsible for building this dome, so he's very well known, and anytime anybody hears Partridge's last name, they know who he's associated with. And within the dome, they have these strange things that they do called coding, where they're sort of genetically changing the people or enhancing their abilities, their physical abilities, their behavioral abilities. And for some reason, even though he has taken to the physical coding, Partridge has not taken to the behavioral coding, which seems like a way to control the people, personally. But regardless of that, it's just basically Partridge and his father, who's been rather distant with him. It's just the 2 of them. Partridge's mother was killed during the detonation. She had left the dome to try and bring in as many people as she could rescue, and apparently lost her life during that time. Her father always referred to her as a saint. Partridge's brother, Sedge, joined like this special elite group, and like a special forces, and something happened and he died, so it left just the 2 of them and kind of created a distance to them. But something the father has been saying lately leads Partridge to believe that maybe his mother is not dead, and he gets it in his head to sneak out of the dome and search within the wastelands to try and track down his mother. And eventually, as you can imagine, the two storylines are going to meet together. There are many other characters that appear within this book, and sometimes the point of view will change to those characters. I won't get into all the different ones, there are quite a few, but they're all sort of joined together, and it was really quite interesting. It's a bit slower paced. I think I found myself putting down the book quite often, but the world building is just amazing, and the details of the characters. I still think it's worth picking up if you enjoy that kind of genre, the post-apocalyptic, very well detailed. If you don't like heavy detailed and you find that kind of slowing down a book too much, that might not be the right book for you. Then maybe rent it out and give it a try from the library rather than purchasing it. But overall, I did enjoy the book. I enjoyed the storyline and the characters. It is first book in a trilogy. The second book, I forgot if it's out already. I didn't check into that before I started filming this, but I believe it's called Fuse. And I'm looking forward to kind of continuing the story and see where it goes with that. So I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I hope you decided to give it a try. If you have read the book before, let me know what you thought about it down below, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.